Alright, what's up, guys? So, today I want to talk to you about Avengers Endgame. I really liked Avengers Endgame. I feel like it was a great conclusion to the MCU saga and it really wrapped it all up. When this film opens, we get this pretty cool scene of them discussing, about the gauntlet and what happened after the events in Infinity War. And then I love the scene where Thor gets up in front of Carol Danvers, Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel. And he's like, I like her, and like the axe comes flying in his hand. And then they go to this planet to find Thanos, and Thor chops his head off. And they're like, what did you do? And he's like, I went for the head. So that was a pretty cool opening. And when that happened, I'm like, wait, that's it? Like, they just killed Thanos? So then, like, the film progresses and we find out about time travel, and I think that was pretty cool. I like how they reference Back to the Future on that. So then Tony Stark helps them and they decide that, you know what, we're gonna go back in time and we're gonna, get these stones and stop the events from happening. So after Infinity War ended, it was pretty intense. It ended in that cliffhanger. So Endgame had a lot of tension going on. There was a lot of hope that, the Avengers can defeat Thanos and right all that, because, Spider-Man turned to dust. And a lot of people love Spider-Man. I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. I've watched the movies, I read the comics. So it was pretty sad when Spider-Man died. And, I think we all want to see everybody come back, but also Spider-Man. So yeah, the film progresses. I like how they go back in time. I love the fight with Captain America and Captain America. The Captain America fight was pretty cool between the two of them. And we get to see the rest of the Avengers back then. There's one hilarious scene where they go back and he's like Hulk smash and he's like, Smart Hulk was pretty funny. But I did miss the real Hulk. So yeah, they come back and then at the end is pretty cool when they fight Thanos, where he's just sitting there and he's like, I'm gonna tear this universe to shreds. When I'm done, I'll build a new world. And they're like, a world born out of blood. So I like Thanos' little speech at the end. I like when Thanos is like, I will shred this universe down to its last atom. And then with the stones you've collected from me, I'll create a new one. So I thought that Thanos was pretty cool saying those things. It was pretty intense and pretty evil and, just impactful. And I like when he says that this planet is stubborn, or these wars have never been personal, but this time it will be. So they fight Thanos at the end. It's pretty epic when Thor and him are going at each other, and then Thor kind of gets cornered, and then we see the Thor hammer start like moving. It starts floating, and then it flies and hits Thanos in the face, and then it flies into the hands of Captain America. I think that was so cool to see Captain America finally lift Mjolnir or Mew Mew, however you say it. So Captain America lifts Thor's hammer and beats the crap out of Thanos. Was pretty cool. Also the scene where the portal opens, where we hear On Your Left, which is a reference to Captain America the Winter Soldier, and all the Avengers come by, and then Captain America's like, Avengers assemble, and then the music plays in the background and they all rush. People in the movie theater were screaming. I saw this film in the movie theater and people were screaming. Like when he said Avengers assemble, people were screaming. And also when Captain America lifted Thor's hammer, people were just screaming and going wild. Heck, I was one of them. So, I was pretty excited to see those things happen. But yeah, the ending is kind of sad. I am inevitable. And I am Iron Man. Snap. So yeah, the ending was sad, but I feel like they had to do it to wrap up the whole MCU saga. I don't think people really knew that we were going to get the films after that we did. A lot of the Marvel films after Endgame weren't that good, but I liked a few of them. Like, I really liked Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought that film was phenomenal. Fantastic Four First Steps was good. So I'm excited for Avengers Doomsday. Chris Evans did a great job again as Captain America. Robert Downey Jr., charismatic as Iron Man. Scarlett Johansson stole the show as the Black Widow. It was nice to see Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch at the end. Yeah, and Smart Hulk was kind of funny, but I would have preferred the other Hulk, but I guess for this film it worked. I like the scene with Thor when he goes back in time and he gets to meet his mom. It's very emotional. Natalie Portman has a cameo, but again, Thor meeting his mom was very emotional and I really liked that scene. But yeah, Avengers Endgame is a great film. If you guys haven't seen it, I recommend you check it out, but I really like Avengers Endgame. Guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think down in the comment section of Avengers Endgame.